When GoPro announced their first drone, I was torn between that and the Mavic Pro. As you've probably seen by now, I did go ahead and purchase the Mavic Pro. I still haven't had a chance to fly it at the time of filming this video. It's sitting next to me, it's killing me, the weather, can't do anything about it. But now that GoPro's had to recall their Karma drone, I was still really interested in the stabilization, so I picked up the Karma Grip. So today, as you might expect, we're gonna be taking a look at the GoPro Karma Grip. Now, if you're not familiar with what the Karma Grip does and what it offers, effectively it's a handheld video stabilizer. You simply put your GoPro into it. It has the whole harness and gimbal setup that was on the Karma with a handheld battery and everything else for setting up the recording and everything. It is handheld, but you can also attach it to anything. It does have a GoPro mount built into it, if I remember correctly. And it should be compatible with the Hero 5 Black, the Hero 5 Session, the Hero 4 Black and Silver, but the harnesses for those two are sold separately. That's okay, I have the Hero 5 Black, we're good. And I suppose without any further ado, time to break out the knife. That was pretty painless. And like most boxes, I would actually expect things to come out of the top or the side. No, everything's gonna come out of the bottom on this one. There you go. So there's a document in here about updating the Karma Grip and the camera in a bunch of different languages. Getting started guide for the Karma Grip, product safety information, the big old warning. And then, okay, this case, I will say, looks an awful lot like the DJI Osmo case. That's kind of a good thing, kind of a bad, I don't know. So, without any further ado, inside of the case, the little guitar case as it were, it includes a ring. This is presumably what you would use to mount it onto a backpack or something, or any sort of other GoPro mount. It looks like you'd actually take the whole gimbal off and everything, slide this onto it, and then lock it into place. There's also a USB Type-C to USB-A cable, and some Velcro, because you just never know when you're going to need some Velcro. And last but certainly not least, is the Karma Grip and the gimbal itself. Previously, you had to actually buy the entire Karma drone to get this whole setup. That was like an $800 to $1,200 purchase, depending on what you got. With this, it was $300 for all of this, except for the camera. So it comes with a little harness here that has both USB Type-C as well as mini HDMI or micro HDMI. I can never keep those straight. You have the 3-axis gimbal, locking and unlocking mechanism. You should just be able to twist it. There we go. That took a little force, actually. Just to unlock and then just pull it out. So this is the detachable part. This is the part that would have gone inside of the drone, but no longer. Line everything back up, slide it into place. Lock it back in, you're good to go. Then on the front, if you can see it, you have a power and mode button. This, I think, is the highlight button, a locking mechanism with a battery LED indicator, and a record button. And here's your LEDs. Down on the bottom, there's a little flap you can open up, and it has a USB Type-C port. And the one complaint I'm really gonna have about this before we even get started, by the way, there's a lanyard. The one complaint I'm gonna have is when you put this inside of its little housing I'm about to do, it's gonna block the USB Type-C port because it's actually gonna be using that USB Type-C port as part of the recording process. The downside to that is you can't replace the audio on this. This does have a USB Type-C input, but you can't actually use that, not even with the USB Type-C input on the bottom here. This is just for charging, and the one on the camera you're gonna lose to actually plugging it in here. A little bit of a bummer, but I would foresee using a separate audio source if you're gonna be using this kind of stabilization. It just really would have been nice to have that as an option, to be able to just record straight to it, upload directly. That would be lovely. Might as well go ahead and try to open this up. It looks like, yeah, just very simple there. Push down this little button, it clips open. Slide the camera in place, which I'm probably gonna have to take that door off. So we'll just pull the door off like that. Slide the camera in until it's firmly in place there. Close it back behind it, and it's securely in place. And so now in theory, if I power it on, it says it's got 3 bars there, and it immediately leveled itself, stabilized itself, and the camera came on, and it's going. It's not recording or anything yet, and it says USB connected, and then goes back. Okay. In theory though, if I go ahead and hit the record button now, it says SD card full. Okay, that's pretty cool. And when you tap on the mode button on here, it switches it from video to photo to burst. I'll go ahead and aim it down so you can sort of see what I'm doing at the same time. Back to photo and burst, time-lapse video, and back to video. Now you may have noticed there, it's pointing down. It's because I used the lock button here. If I hold the lock button and then move it, it moves in whatever direction I want it to. It just holds it steady no matter what. If I let go of that button, it keeps it stable wherever it is. So, tries to at least. So if I lean it down now, you can see the camera is pointing straight ahead, but if I hold the lock button and then angle it down, it goes with it. That's actually very intuitive. At this point, I think it's time to go ahead and do just a few quick tests. But basically, let me just go ahead and say this. My initial impressions here, after having just played with it a little bit, I really like the build quality. It is solid as a rock. The interface is very intuitive and very fluid. Just a couple of buttons, and then this one to lock it in place. Very easy to read LED indicator, and again, very super smooth shots. Cannot complain about that in the slightest. The one thing that this is missing is an audio input, and I'm sure they didn't even think about that as being an option. Maybe there will be a firmware update down the road that will allow this USB Type-C to act as an audio input, because I have a package back there behind me that is actually the USB Type-C cable for the Hero 5, so I'm looking forward to using that, but I just unfortunately will not be able to use it in conjunction with the stabilizer. This would be beautiful for event coverage like CES. It would be lovely for that if you had good audio input. Anyway, let's go ahead and move on to footage from the camera. Alrighty, and welcome to the GoPro Hero 5 Black on the GoPro Karma Grip. I'm curious what the audio is going to sound like on this, and just looking at it, I've got it facing me. There's no selfie mode or anything, so I've had to turn the whole handle around. It seems to be fairly steady and fairly stable so far. If I move my hand around, the camera is obviously moving, but nowhere near as much as my hand is. You can't really see it. Anyway, let's go ahead and just take a quick walk around, and you can kind of see what I'm seeing as I see it. Yep, we're walking into the dining room. Super smooth footage, loving that. And actually, if I want to look down at something, I can hold the lock button and then look down and it'll go with me. And then pull it back up, let go, and now if I lean down, it actually goes to a lower angle shot, which is super convenient. You can see we can even get uber smooth footage of the elf on the shelf hanging out, reading a Christmas card. Very nice. And actually, just rotating it around a little bit too quickly there, I did notice the motors made a bit of a vibration, a little bit of a we don't like this kind of thing. So that's interesting. But now we are outdoors and there's going to be some wind. Sorry about that. Pretty sure the camera is set to the manual mode, which means it's probably not going to be wind reduction anything. So again, sorry. That's why I bought the external mic adapter that I can't use with this. But again, flipping around, wow, I'm moving the camera around, I'm moving the whole grip around, and this is not really doing much of anything. Unfortunately, I do not have this in linear mode, and I probably should. But it looks nice at least. That's one thing they're going to have to address though. The back of the camera, the screen keeps turning off. So let's see if I can pan down some. There we go. We'll just hold the button and pan down. You see it deals with the light change very nicely. Pan around. Very good. Anyway, I have a feeling that the wind is going to absolutely kill a lot of the audio in this, so I probably ought to switch over to some musical accompaniment and trying to find things to take pretty pictures of. And welcome to the next day because I forgot to wrap this video up yesterday. Hopefully you enjoyed some of the footage that I included there. As far as overall thoughts and impressions on it, I love the stabilization that it offers. Again, I love the quality of the new GoPro. The video quality looks great. The audio quality leaves a lot to be desired, and that's why I think this is kind of a half-baked product. GoPro's thought ahead by offering an external microphone adapter on the new GoPro, just like they did on the GoPro Hero 4 and I think previous generations. But for some reason, when designing this new grip, they didn't design it around the idea of having a 3.5mm headphone jack, or realistically, even offering the ability to connect one through the USB-C port. That would make this into an amazing product. That would make it worth $300 to me. As it stands, would I say that it's worth the $300? I really don't know. I'm gonna keep it, I'm gonna continue to use it, I'm gonna do cool action-y type shots with it, and when I get my electric skateboard, I'll probably use it for that too. I did also go ahead and attach the GoPro clip to it. It just fits right here below the gimbal, and you can just sort of unclip it there and spin it around. Pretty easy to set up, can't complain. But if you were in the market for it, if you were thinking about picking this up, I guess just think about what your needs are. You could hear what the audio sounded like there. You see what the video looks like. So just basically, if you need stabilization and you don't need to worry about the audio, or you don't mind syncing it in post, this could be a great option for $300 and to add it to your existing GoPro, not bad. If you need that audio built into it, it's not gonna be the option that you want. So links to where you can find this will be available down in the description. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to hit the like button down below the video. I definitely appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel to receive all the videos I make, and I will see you again next time.